Hear ye, hear ye. If you are feeling this retro, jazz, Wicks hairstyle, then you ought to stay tuned because, baby, I am going to share with you how easy it is to get this very look. Ready, set, go. You see things sometimes on YouTube or somebody's page and you be like, I ain't trying to copy sis, but it is just bomb and I want that. So this is the classic case of that situation. I ran across a young lady on YouTube and her channel, I believe, is Lazy and Locked. If I don't have it right, it'll be in the description box. It was just so ironic. I was getting ready to go on a Caribbean cruise and she was creating wigs from her locks. And they're thick and they're full and they are gorgeous. And she is a beautiful young lady as well. I wanted to not just do the hairstyle, but to also share with you guys what I saw and give it a little jazzy twist. But I'm going to always give people their dues and when they're creative as such. So I wanted to reach out to her and make sure that it was okay. And she was like, yeah, she's a girly girl. She was more than happy to allow me to do that. And she was thankful that I even asked. And we're just going to go right on in. So you'll need Cuban twist hair, and this one pack right here was all I needed to complete the entire look, and also some ponytail holders or rubber bands. So the first step would be to make ponytails. So basically part your hair to where you want the wigs to lay or be at, should I say. We're going to make about 7 ponytails here. Be sure to leave about 3 to 4 inches from the root of where you're going to start the ponytail at. And you'll understand why later. Next, you're going to fold your hair over. In essence, you want the folded part on the bottom part to be the length of how you want it to be. So if you want the length to be shorter, move your hair up further up the ponytail shaft. Once you determine the length that you want it, just place another ponytail holder there as well. And also be a little loose with this because you want your locks to be a little dense and not so constricted. Continue this process until you're completely done with however many wicks that you decided to make. But this is just the beginning stages for your base. If you have little straggler pieces that will not go in the ponytail, you can just use rubber bands like you see here that I have. I have some they're transparent looking, but it doesn't matter what color. But I just use it to put in the stragglers. And when you get through making your ponytail or wig, those end pieces, I just kind of stuck it inside of that ponytail made up wig. So here's a 360. It's looking a little frumpy, but don't you worry about that. I believe that God is going to work a miracle. And at least I was hoping that in my head too. So I made a wig on the top right section, as you see off camera. But I'm going to show you how I made this. And mind you, we will tweak this throughout the process to make it look how we want it to look. Grab like 2 sections out of that bundle. You see there, they were already kind of separated. Just grab 2 of those pieces and I kind of stretched it a little bit to kind of make it wide. But yeah. Gonna take one through your little loop or whatever. Feed it through here. So then you'll end up, you're gonna even it out. And you got this. Then we're going to take the other piece. You're going to go the opposite direction. So, and feed it through it like that. So one's one way and one's the other way. And you're going to end up with 4 pieces. This looks a little weird right now, of course, but you'll see the end. I like to kind of just stretch the hair out just a little bit. You'll see why. So that we can close up the end so you don't see that part, we're going to braid. So I'm just going to take 2 of these pieces right here. And I'm just going to braid a few times just to cover the bottom where you don't see the little bottom piece. You know what I'm saying? A few times. So you'll take 2 strands and go all the way up to the top of the base of your hair. And you will use a bobby pin just to anchor it down for right now. Take the remaining 2 pieces and wrap them around loosely. aiming to cover any signs or showings of your microlocs. You want to wrap the Marley hair around loosely, aiming to cover up any signs of microlocs whatsoever. And we are tweaking this as we go to cover it up. And you want it done loosely so that we can get that frumpy Wick look freestyle appearance. You will run out of hair just about midways. So basically just tuck the end part of that hair inside somewhere, and I kind of just flipped it over and tucked it inside of that big lump as you see there. And that's all you do. The Marley hair, it kind of sticks to itself upon itself when you wrap it around. Okay, so now you'll take out that bobby pin, and with the remainder of the hair, we will flip that over and do the same process. You can go either direction. Whatever you can do to cover up that base, you're fine. So you may run out of hair again with that, and it does not cover your hair completely. I will show you what to do. So just wrap it all the way around and tuck it in like you did the previous section. Through trial and error, one piece of going through the root did not work. So this part, you're going to take 2 pieces of the Marley hair and you're going to go through that base part. You see where the roots are at? That's why you need to leave that 3 to 4 inches of gap so you can have room. Now, I noticed from trial and error as well that even when I started right there in the middle, that did not cover the base of my microlocs. And you can see those small little specks of microlocs, and I wanted to look as natural as possible. So I took that hair closer to the front part of where the lock starts at. So I will go more towards the forehead and put it in and just kind of wrap it around from that position. While you're wrapping it around going downward, still be mindful in covering up of any signs of microlocs. And when you get to the end, just kind of tuck it in somewhere. Camouflage it the best way you know how. That's all I can tell you. Once you get through wrapping it all around, just look at it, investigate it, and make sure that everything is covered to your liking. And that is it. You are done. Easy peasy. And just do it to the rest of the Wick fake ponytails that you have made, and you are done. I wanted to add a few tips and tricks to camouflage your microlocs. As you see there, you can see those pieces there. I used the product that I used to cover up my grays in the front, but I used it to, kind of pat down my scalp, kind of mimicking overgrown new growth like we see in wigs sometimes. It gives the illusion of matted hair at the base. So that's what I use to cover up my microlocs. Also, when you are wrapping the Marley hair around the root part at the base part of your, towards your scalp, wrap it around rather loosely. So when you fold the ponytails over, or your wigs over rather, it can look and feel freely and almost naturally like real wigs would be. You want to make it loose at the base because you want to be able to flop your wigs up, down, crossways, anywhere you want it, so that it won't have any stress or tension, and to also be able to pin this hair up should you like to do that. Wigs have like a free movement, so that's what we're trying to create here as well by having loose roots. I also want to mention that when you're using 1 or 2 strands to kind of wrap it around, if it's not enough, use 3 strands instead. I did do that on some of the wicks that I was forming to kind of cover up my microlocs. This was my initial finished look, but as I looked around, I noticed that I had some pieces in the base of the back that was not quite covered, and some pieces that were looking frumpy and not evenly wrapped around, And so I decided to go back in and tweak it a little bit more. So you may not have it perfect at first, but just tweak it some more to your liking. This style took me about maybe an hour or less to complete. But if it's your first time, it may be a little longer because you're trying to figure it out. However, if you just follow the steps, it's not a long process. It's just a matter of getting ponytails up and covering up the microlocs underneath as best as you can. I believe that you could try this style on traditional locks as well. You just go through the same process and cover up the locks. You could also jazz this up with some hair jewels. I had bought some jewels but decided not to use them because of the many outfits that I was going to be doing while on my cruise. So you could use shells, you could use pin in beads, you could do those little, you could even sew in some, metallic beads. I think that would be bomb. I did not tweak my hair until I got onto the boat, but before that, people were offering to take pictures of us and was complimenting me everywhere. Sure, thank you.
We got it on video.
Yeah, but my arm can only go so far. Hey, you say like one cruise? Yeah. Okay, awesome. Before tweaking, I was looking a hot mess, but I got it together. It took me a second to kind of warm up to the look, but I was feeling myself a little bit. It didn't take me long to warm up to the hairstyle because I literally got compliments everywhere. People from multiple backgrounds was digging my hair, from Asian to Caucasian. Even the Jamaicans were perplexed with my hairstyle. I was getting questions about my hair. People were wanting to touch it. They were just loving my hair, men and women. So if you wear this hairstyle, rest assured you're going to get a ton of compliments. I promise you that. Oh, and did y'all see how I pinned that stuff to the side? Clock that. That was a little jazzy twist there. Should you try this? Let me know how it turned out for you because I was digging this look. If you enjoyed this content, please feel free to subscribe. I appreciate that in advance, but be sure to also go to Lazy and Lock and show her some love as well because she is the inspiration of this lovely hairstyle. Bye-bye for now.
Situations, temptation, education, relaxation.